The following was one of the easiest and most basic lessons I have ever learned. It began as a spontaneous, humorous response that lasted only 5 seconds and turned out to be a fundamental teaching, full of content and essence, and most importantly, unforgettable. This lesson came from an American Airlines pilot during a flight a number of years ago from New York to Los Angeles. I met the pilot at the entrance to the plane. He was greeting the passengers as they boarded. In keeping with my normal habits, I looked at him, smiled, and wished him good luck, meaning, good luck and may we have a safe flight. The pilot looked at me with a keen expression and smiled slyly. "Luck?" he asked, and his words were as sharp as an arrow. "I hope that you are not boarding this plane with me and trusting to luck. Surely you have faith and believe that I learned to fly and that I know what I am doing." Yes, he was right. I smiled, thanked him for the lesson, and went to my seat to jot it down. I never wanted to forget it. I asked myself how many years of studying at the University of Life one needs to understand such simple insight. In order to succeed in any domain in life, you must acquire the necessary and relevant knowledge. If you know what you are doing, you have a better chance of success. If you do not know what you are doing, you are almost certain to fail. I must admit that since that lesson, my ears have become ultra-sensitive to the blessings that are heaped upon a bride and groom on their wedding night, a benediction which is so customary as to be even almost banal. Since that flight, I have asked myself if we are correct when we imply that luck is the basis for the consequences of a lack of premarital preparation. Do we enter this long and exhausting, complicated and complex arrangement, one which requires that we relinquish the desires, hopes, and traits to which we are accustomed, not to mention the sole proprietorship of our financial, emotional, and mental reality, and put all our trust in luck? Can luck save us when we leap from the cliff of independence into the abyss of human captivity? For many years, I immersed myself in intensive research in an attempt to understand the desire to remain ignorant and the mysterious apathy that surrounds almost every member of the human race who crosses the threshold of this cavern known as married life, doing so in a naive belief that borders on madness, gambling that everything will work out fine. I was even more surprised when I realized that we tend to act logically in every other area of life. It is only when setting out on this most important venture that we invest less and less into the preparations and background research. In every professional area in life, from hairdresser to plumber, from kindergarten teacher to general practitioner or attorney, the world understands the necessity of prior training. A person who comes up with a business idea, regardless of how brilliant it is, will always look for even the smallest investor planning to submit his wares and the core of his proposal. However extraordinary the idea, what are the chances that a potential investor will invest $10,000 in a project if he does not receive satisfactory answers to his questions regarding the business plan, the product being sold, the owner's understanding of the market, marketing methods, the developer's awareness of the risk level versus the chances of success, and so forth? Would any investor be willing to trust to luck?